Hey, I wanted to come on here. Um, I just ate spaghetti, so like I'm just like red. But anyways, I wanted to come on here because kind of give like a little pregnancy update so far. So I'm almost 12 weeks. Today's Wednesday. I'll be 12 weeks on Friday, and I went and saw a midwife today. My doctor's office. Um, they had 3 doctors, and now they're down to 2 doctors. One of the doctors that I was seeing isn't practicing in the office anymore. I like him a lot. He was my favorite, and now he's like the chief of medicine and on the board and stuff. So he no longer um, works in the office. So now there's 2 doctors, and then they have 6 midwives in the clinic now. They had like 1 or 2 or something like that last year when I was pregnant with my daughter Ember, but they've switched some things up. So they try to get you to see the midwives a little bit, just to take some slack off the doctors, I think, for like not like every appointment. Every appointment is obviously important, but like the ones that's not like super important, you get to see the midwives for. So it wasn't too bad. I did not like the midwife when I was pregnant with Ember that I saw, which I was told is no longer there. So I'm okay with that. The midwife I saw today, I really liked. She made me feel very comfortable. I feel like I got a glare, so um, she made me feel really comfortable, and she was very thorough, and she was sympathetic with my history of, excuse me, of losses um, and like preeclampsia and all that stuff. So, anyways, she did like a portable ultrasound. The midwives do, and it's a little different than like the regular ultrasound machine where they can measure like the baby's length and everything. So it was a portable ultrasound, so they don't get a chance to measure all that stuff with the portable one, and it's like a little handheld one. And they updated their portable ultrasound since last year, because I remember when I had it done with Ember, um, you couldn't really make out the baby very well, and unless the baby was moving, you could see like when the baby was moving and that sort of thing. But the new one, you could see the baby plain as day. It was really cute. It was waving its arms and its legs, and then it started kicking me. And I don't know if I mentioned before, but I started feeling flutters super early with Ember, like 9, 10, 11 weeks. And everybody said I was crazy. The midwife that I saw when I was pregnant with Ember said she literally told me I was nuts. That was all in my head. Um, she actually said those words, and that's part of the reason why I didn't like her. And she's like, it's just gas, blah blah blah. And I'm like, no, it's not. And then like I proved it in my pregnancy because I could feel the flutters and the kicks and stuff when I was doing an ultrasound. And so the doctor tested it, the doctor that's no longer working in the office. So he turned the ultrasound screen away from me one time, and he said, when you feel the kicks, let me know. And I told him every time that I felt the kicks, and every time that I felt the kicks, he saw it on the screen. So it was totally true. And then he said that it's rare, but I have a higher uterus, and it's like against my skin and stuff, so I'm super sensitive and feel things super early. Even though the baby is like super small and all that stuff, I can feel it. So I've been feeling flutters for about a week and a half, 2 weeks ish, maybe 2 weeks. I don't know. I've lost track, but I've been feeling flutters off and on, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's the baby. Sometimes they're stronger, sometimes they're barely there, and it's like, okay, is that gas? Is it indigestion? Is it the baby? And so with that portable ultrasound, the baby started kicking. And you can see on the screen it was kicking strong, and at the same time I felt the flutter, so it was really cool to know for sure, okay, I'm feeling the baby. And I was pretty sure, but I don't know, it's just that knowing for sure when you see it. And then, so that was really cool. And then the baby, like, it was, the head was up and the butt and legs was down. And all of a sudden it bared down and it kicked off my uterus and went straight up. It was really cool. It shot up like a rocket, like it was jumping. It was really cute. So, got to see that today. So, it was really exciting to see that it's doing well and it's strong. Didn't measure the heartbeat because they only have one Doppler in the office and it was in use. So it was okay because I got to see the baby on the screen. So, and it was doing just fine. I did get a lot of lab work done today. I had like the normal prenatal, like a blood panel done, and then some kind of a blood panel for like preeclampsia, because I've had preeclampsia in the past, and did genetic blood work, and we get to find out what the baby is early, so we should find out within the next 3 to 5 days or so, I think is what they said. So that's really exciting. We never got offered that before, but they wanted to do the genetic testing because I've had so many miscarriages, just to see if there's any like chromosomal abnormality with the baby itself. We had genetic testing on me and Aaron, and everything came back normal, but they want to check the baby, so did the genetic testing on the baby, and it also will show the sex of the baby, so that's really exciting. So we'll find that out soon. I also got tested to see if I have a clotting disorder. We've kind of automatically assumed I did, the doctors did, and I did. So this will determine what medication they want to put me on in the next few weeks. And also, I have to do a 24-hour urine test. So starting tomorrow morning, I basically have to pee in a jug and then Friday take it back to the lab, and it's to, I guess, to something to do with to see if there's like a possibility of me having preeclampsia in the future with this pregnancy or something like that. And she said something about doing this test like every 6 weeks. If it don't show anything now, in like 6 weeks it could, and they could put me on the proper medication to try to prolong the process. There's no cure for preeclampsia, and there's no actual prevention for preeclampsia, but there are preventative measures you can take to slow the process down of preeclampsia, or also helping it from not becoming as severe. So we're taking proper measures to try to prevent me from getting it so early, because I started developing it around 21, 22 weeks, and had to have emergency C-section at 24 weeks with our daughter. So it's just too early. Our daughter didn't survive. She lived for 2 weeks and passed away. And we just don't want to go through that again. Obviously, nobody wants to go through it. But we're going to try to do everything possible to prolong it. If I do get preeclampsia, we're trying to get me into 30 weeks, being pregnant above 30 weeks. is the biggest goal. The main goal is to get 37 weeks, because I can't go past 37 weeks. I have to have a C-section by 37 weeks. So that is the ultimate goal. But if we can get above 30 weeks, it'll be so much better than last pregnancy. So that's the plan. So we're kind of doing some preventive measures. I will be going to the fetal maternal medicine, like high risk type of doctor. Within the next week or two, they'll be calling me in the next couple of days to schedule that appointment. And I'll be doing an ultrasound there. And kind of going more in depth and everything. And then talking about maybe put me on heparin. I think it kind of depends on my blood results for the clotting disorder. But I'm not sure. Like, they also said that people that suffers preeclampsia, sometimes heparin will help with that as well. Which I don't have preeclampsia at the moment, but it could happen because I had like my last pregnancy that lasted, basically. So we're going to discuss like heparin, and there's another one called like it starts with an L, I think. I can't remember the word, or the medication or whatever. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So everything's going well with this pregnancy so far. I haven't, since I just told you last video that I kind of made like the announcement that I'm pregnant, and we're still adopting. This pregnancy was kind of like a oopsie. Of course we want to have a baby, but at the same time we were fed up with all the losses that we had, and like just the heartbreak and just the hardship and stuff, and we've had so many. We just like, okay, we're done with all this. So I went on birth control and was discussing with the doctors about getting my tubes tied, and I got pregnant while I was on birth control. So obviously we're happy with this baby. We're just praying that everything goes well. We just don't want to have to go through everything we've been through already. But kind of don't want to repeat the process, I guess you should say. But yeah, so we're going to continue adopting, and I'm thinking I'm really spacey, so I haven't really went over my symptoms. At the beginning of my pregnancy, when I first found out around 5 weeks-ish. I knew I was pregnant because I was late for my period, and 2, I had like that hormonal rush, and you just feel like something's up. And so I took a Clear Blue digital test, and those usually it needs more higher HCG for it to read positive, and it said pregnant right away, and I was in shock. And we went through a little bit of an emotional roller coaster that week, of should we be happy, should we be excited, should we be upset, should we be expecting the worst. Like, there was a lot of stuff. Our mind was going everywhere, mine and my husband's. He was a little upset just because he experienced watching me go through a lot of pain the last miscarriage, because it was twins. It was very hard on me and my body, and it hurt him a lot. And so he took it hard when we found out that I was pregnant, and harder than me. But eventually, like, it took us some time for it all to sink in. Of course, we're happy. We do want a baby. But if something goes wrong in this pregnancy, we really are just done, because it's just too much. And to knowingly go into getting pregnant, and it's just gonna be doomed from the get-go. So that's kind of where our mindset is at this point, because it's this is the 10th baby, so it's rough. And so anyways, that was kind of my symptoms to finding out that I was pregnant. And then weeks to come, like 6-7 weeks, I would have nausea off and on, and tiredness hit. Oh my goodness, I was so tired. I would sleep 8, 9, 10 hours of sleep at night, and then still need an hour or two nap during the day. Super tired. Continued to walk in the evenings. And my husband started walking with me in the evenings, and kind of give us something both to do, and get a little bit of exercise. And the last few weeks, morning sickness, full-blown morning sickness hit. The worst part of it was from the time I woke up in the morning, around like, I don't know, it just depends on what time I woke up. Between 6 and 10, I'd wake up, just depending on when I wake up, and I'd be sick all the way up to like 12, 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And I literally was throwing up, nausea all the time. Even when I'm not throwing up, I was so nauseous. Could barely eat anything. Found out that I couldn't eat like a lot of healthy foods, some fruits, and pretty much all vegetables makes me sick. I've had a really hard time with that, and bland foods has been the best. Oatmeal has been the best. Cereal has been it's all right. It kind of calms my stomach down a little bit, but oatmeal seems to be the best so far. And waffles has been a thing. Just like the frozen waffles, you just stick in a toaster, and just eating it plain has just been all right with my belly. So the doctor's midwife has all said, and there's a nutritionist that I've talked to, and all said that when you're pregnant and you're that nauseous and you're throwing up and you're sick and you can't eat the healthiest, you eat what you can. Right at this point, is just calories is the biggest part for the baby. So just eat what you can. If all you can eat is crackers, waffles, and oatmeal, they said that's fine, as long as you're getting some kind of something inside of you and calories and stuff. So that's pretty much what I did for the last couple of weeks. But the last few days, I feel like it's let up. I've had a couple moments of nausea, but it's pretty much kind of feels like right now I'm at the point where I feel like with Ember's pregnancy, like I wasn't super sick with her. I just was nauseous here and there. If I get too hungry, I would get nauseous. I think I threw up maybe twice during the whole pregnancy with her. I've thrown up a lot more with this one so far, but yeah, so, and the tiredness is kind of stuck around for the most part. I feel like I'm getting my energy back. I'm getting towards my end of my first trimester, and I feel more energized. Of course, I'm still have my moments, and I get tired very easy, but I'm not exhausted all the time where I cannot barely move. So I've been doing more, I've been out and about more, and just feel a little bit more energized. Today I don't feel the greatest. I did have the glucose test done today. I don't think I mentioned that. And the glucose is horrible, and it just kind of knocks me for the loop for the rest of the day. So I came home. I didn't sleep very good last night. I only had like 5 hours of sleep, and woke up super early with a headache, and just a lot happened super early in the morning. My husband took the car keys instead of the house keys. We only have one set of car keys. to work, and he forgot his mask, and he has to have a mask when he's working. It's just so much stuff happened at once. So I had to get a ride because I had the car but no keys. I had to get a ride to go all the way like 20-30 minutes to his work and come back and get to my doctor's appointment. I ended up being 10 minutes late to my doctor's appointment, which isn't too bad, but it was just like rushing to get it all done. And dealt with all that, and then had to do all the labs and stuff and the glucose tests and stuff. And I came home and I crashed. I slept for like 2.5 hours. I was so tired. So today I'm pretty blah, and I think it's just all the blood that was drawn and the glucose and just from everything, and then the headache that I had. And the headache came back after I drank the glucose stuff and like that sugary drink that you drink, and it just makes you feel so nasty. And my headache came back. It kind of felt like a different headache, almost like a tension headache. So I just slept for 2.5 hours, and I woke up. Headache was still there. So I decided, okay, I'm going to break down, take some Tylenol. Try not to take medicines and stuff unless I absolutely have to. But I've been struggling with this headache since like in the middle of the night. I'm like, I just can't keep doing that. So I took 2 Tylenol, and like 40 minutes later it was gone. So hallelujah. So I felt a lot better ever since. I just don't really have the energy right now. But other than that, that's really all the pregnancy symptoms I think I've really experienced. I've had some constipation off and on. And I just about missed a big one. So at 10 weeks, I was cramping big time. And I thought for sure I was miscarrying. And I'm on progesterone, so progesterone kind of prolongs the process if you're miscarrying and kind of keeps you from bleeding a little bit until you stop taking progesterone. And so I wasn't sure if I was miscarrying or what was going on. I thought for sure I was miscarrying because I was cramping so bad. So I called the doctor. They had me come in that day, did an ultrasound. Baby was fine, and we couldn't figure out why I was cramping. And then finally the ultrasound tech figured it out. There was gas, like a lot of trapped gas, like pushing against my uterus, and it was like underneath my uterus and stuff, and it was causing me so much pain. And so I had a lot of gas. I never experienced that before. I never experienced that even with Ember. Like, I never experienced, like, gas pain. I mean, I was gassy, but I never experienced, like, gas pain like that. I don't think I've ever experienced gas pain like that. But it was trapped. So they told me to go get Beano. And so I got some Beano and take it every once in a while. And I feel so much better. Haven't had cramping since. So I just kind of sharing that. I know it's TMI, but those of you that are pregnant or have experiencing the same thing, that could be it. I know it's like disgusting and it's TMI, but we're all human and it happens. So anyways, I didn't even experience gas pain like that after my C-section, and they say that you have that a lot after C-section, and I didn't. So that it was just very strange for me. So that's pretty much it. I haven't really had any other symptoms, really, I don't think. I'm not like, maybe it's because I'm not gaining weight like I did with Ember, but I'm not really like showing. I'm showing, but I'm not like poked out. Like at this point with Ember, I saw a picture today that popped up on my Facebook, like, you know, like the Facebook memories or whatever, like a year ago today. Like literally my timeline with this pregnancy is maybe a week and a half off from Ember's pregnancy. So I look like I was 6-7 months pregnant at this point with Ember. I could not believe it. I looked at the picture and I was like, wow, like it was like a literally belly, like a cone shaped belly. I don't really have that. I just have like, I'm pretty big anyways. I'm a bigger woman. I got a bigger belly, but you still could tell I'm pregnant. I still have a pregnant pooch, even though I got the fat rolls. So I do have a pregnant pooch, but it's nothing near as bad as her. I already gained like 15 pounds at this point with Ember, and this pregnancy I've only gained a pound. So I'm doing really good with my weight, and most of it I think is from being nauseous and sick, of not gaining weight. But when you're obese like me, they tell you that try not to gain weight, especially in your first trimester. And if you do, they want it to be a couple pounds, no more than 5 pounds. So far it's just been 1 pound, and that's pretty good. And the midwife today told me that I need to try to pick up my calories. I'm like, well, I feel like I'm eating really good. So, I don't know. And I'm actually noticed the last 2 days, like, getting the hunger pangs. Like, I'm so hungry. Like, no matter how much I eat, I'm still hungry. So, I don't think there's going to be a problem with picking my calories up. But I just don't want to gain too much weight, if that makes sense, with being obese as it is. And I want to eat healthy, but I still, like, vegetables and stuff still does not sound good. And I love salads and greens and spinach and celery. I love all that stuff, and carrots and stuff. I just can't. I can't eat it right now. It does not sound good to me, and just the thought of eating it makes me want to get sick. So I'm just doing my thing and eating the best I can right now. Basically eating a lot of bland and grains and stuff. Bland foods and stuff. So anyways, I wanted to give you guys a pregnancy update, kind of my first pregnancy update, because I never got a chance to really get around to it and didn't really want to announce pregnancy until we knew for sure that everything was well with the baby, because I've had so many miscarriages. And so far everything's well, and we're towards the end of the first trimester, and it's looking good. The midwife said I'm past, like, just like I said, like, I'm past the mark of where I usually miscarry. And she said, you look really good. Like, the pregnancy looks good. Everything looks good. Baby looks good. And she's like, I think this is a sticky baby. And we just got to make sure that I don't get preeclampsia or try to prolong it. Or treat it and stuff. So I didn't know that I was going to develop preeclampsia last pregnancy. We didn't have any preventive measures. We didn't have the right medications. I already had severe preeclampsia once I was diagnosed with preeclampsia. So it was kind of too late to do all these preventive stuff that we're doing now. So yeah, hopefully that makes the world of difference, and we're definitely praying about it. And we're praying that this baby will make it to full term, which is 37 weeks for me. But if it doesn't, I'm praying it's at least over 32 weeks. I really don't want it to be below 32 weeks. So hopefully all is well. So I wanted to give you guys an update. And I will be coming on with more pregnancy updates as this pregnancy progresses. So far so good. So let's just keep our fingers crossed and it stays that way. And I'll be going to the fetal maternal medicine, if I said that right, I don't know, within the next week or two. They'll be calling to make my appointment. After that appointment, I will let you guys know, give you guys an update with every appointment that I have, and anything new that happens in this pregnancy. All right, see you guys.